Welcome to Top Tier Trader. We have another interview today with Bay Purcell. He's coming all the way from Mexico. He's 22 years old and he got a very nice sizable payout. So Bay, man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Cool. So you live down in Mexico, correct?
I do. I live in Mexico, Cabo San Lucas.
Very, very nice. And how long have you been there?
On and off most of my life, but recently about a month.
Okay, about a month. So you got a top tier challenge, did very well on it from what I hear. Now, how long have you been trading?
Oh, I've been trading for about 5 years, so
Okay.
a little while. I like many, had my start with IML, and that was a very interesting experience, to be diplomatic. I met a handful of really phenomenal people and traders in that experience that I kind of rolled with after I left, and spent a few years trying some different strategies, learning myself and how my relationship with trading is, taking plenty of losses. I'll sleep, money, time, you name it, and learning the ins and outs, kind of self-teaching myself. And I kind of just gradually kept improving my skill set, and I kept struggling with my mindset. And then finally, I kind of just just took a detox for a while, got back into it with my head straight, and things kind of just took off.
It's probably the most healthy thing that you can do, to be honest. Like you
I'm
have
learning.
to have
I'm
that right
learning.
headspace. Yeah. So how long have you been profitable now?
I would honestly profitable. This was really this payout was the first sizable payout. I've made maybe like 1,000 or two in the past before, but that was up and down.
Okay.
As far as what I could consider a normal, an actual payout, this is the
Right.
first one.
Okay. So and that's from top tier, not just your personal account.
In
Or
general, yeah.
okay. Wow, that's really cool. So so how long about how long did it take you to get, funded, to get your payout? Take us through that process.
So it took me about, from the moment I grabbed the challenge, it took me about 5 days to complete the first 10%. Took me about, I think, 6 days to complete the 5%. And then within the first day of having the funded account, I took a setup on, I believe it was Euro USD. I was having trouble going through I wanted to show it, but I was having trouble finding that trade in my account history. But it was a trade on a setup on Euro USD, and I went a bit into profit, came back up midnight. I saw it. It was at a perfect, re-entry position. And I stacked in some low risk, high reward entries. And by the time I woke up the next morning, it took, it was about, I was maybe in the trade total about 48, 72 hours, but from my final entries, it took about 6 hours. And that had netted me, I can't remember, about 18,000 in the account.
So was that the only trade that you took after you?
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah, it
pretty
was the
cool.
only one.
Wow.
Yeah, it was definitely a milestone moment for me. I woke up in absolute awe, and
That's,
yeah, no,
that's
it was a
actually
life changing
that's really
moment.
cool because like so many people, and I've been guilty of this, and they'd be like, well, if I did that, if I just made $18,000 in one trade, then I can place another trade and then keep going. I can make more. So I think you accomplished something that not many people can actually do. It's really hard. Even even a trader, I'm not gonna call him out, but we're all really good friends here, and he's up pretty well, and you know who he is. But he's like, I wish I would have went in heavier. I'm like, don't say that, like what you did. And then, so that's really cool. Well, you want to talk us a little bit through your strategy on your
Yeah,
setup?
absolutely. So these are the original two entries, and then I had stacked these entries. Okay, so let's just go to the original one. Let's see, this is Euro USD on New Year's.
Cool.
Everybody has their preference, but I always have liked to use Owanda when they seem to have the cleanest candlestick
Yeah.
for me, but to each their own. Let's see
So
here.
do you do this setup that you have across all time frames, or is this just off the hour, or?
No, I will usually scale down from the daily. The daily or the 4 hour, I'll get either a daily or the 4 hour, whichever one seems cleanest to me, whichever one I prefer the looks of. I will go off I'll just use that as a general frame of reference. And then, okay, right around here. And then I like to scale down usually all the way down to the 15-minute. Whether I use every time frame or not is dependent on the circumstances, but I like to look at all time frames just to get an idea of what's going on. All right, so this is the winning trade, the trade setup that banked me from around the starting balance to the
18,000.
68,000. Yeah. No, I definitely was basing myself mostly off of the hour time frame in this setup. I definitely did not do much higher time frame diligence.
Mhm.
So for this one, let's see here. I saw it when I first caught it when it was right around here. So this first setup, when I started seeing this. So we have a very, very rudimentary head and shoulders.
Mhm. So are you looking right
This
here
is-
for just the head and shoulders, or are you looking for?
So I will be honest with you. This was definitely more of an intuitive trade.
Mhm.
This is more of just kind of seeing some. There's certain times where I'll take a trade, and I will do my due diligence, and I'm not able to exactly frame an exact setup, but there's a couple of things that will just do it for me. So we have this head and shoulders. We have this line right here, which works as a sense of it's the shoulder line basically of the head and shoulders, and it respects it very clearly right here. There's not, as you can see, there's not any actual shark fins, so there was nothing too attractive about this setup, but this it was this break right here and this retest of that head and shoulder line, of this support line, of this is where I stacked. This is where I got in.
What do you plan to do with your payout? You gonna do anything special?
So I used a good chunk of it to invest in our life moving back down. So as I said, we were in my wife and I, we've been living in San Diego for the last 5 years.
Mhm.
This is where I learned about IML. This is where I first learned to trade, met all of those groups of people that were in my life that involved me in trading. That was in San Diego. And I basically used this payout to move us back, and now
Very
we have a very comfortable life here. We're very happy here.
Very nice. Well, that
Yes.
makes us really happy here too. That's, why we do all this, to help people that, can take their skill set and, they can apply it and use the tools out there that we've created.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah.
so what made you choose top tier?
Oh, I just heard about it when it first came out. So Top Tier and Nations Trading both came out relatively around the same time, a few years ago.
Mhm.
And I started I started hearing about Nations first. I went with them. I had a couple of experiences with them. There's nothing wrong with them, but I had a friend recommend Top Tier. I started checking it out. I started following you and Q and Anthony and Grant, and I learned about Trader Society as well, which was another big reason why I stuck with Top Tier, because I figured, well, if I'm on the fence about which funding program I'm going to go with, and I'm working in this community with these people that are involved in Top Tier, figured I'd give it a shot, and I've honestly had an incredible experience so far
Very nice. Well,
with you.
thank you very much. Do you want to drop your Instagram name? And
Yeah,
we'll put it
yeah,
up, and
absolutely.
I'll follow you back, and whoever else is out there, we can give you a shout out for that. That's really cool, man. So
Absolutely. So
go ahead. Sorry, the internet's a little spotty.
oh, bro.
Go ahead. What's your Instagram?
It's Bay Purcell, as in ITS Bay Purcell.
You want to say that again?
I can. Do you need me to here?
Here, you want to say it again?
The easiest way for me to share it. Yep. It's Bay Purcell. ITS Bay Purcell.
Perfect. Yep, we'll put that up. And so what's your advice to other traders coming in that are wanting to do this? Try and get funded, try and take a challenge, maybe even just get started in Forex. What's your advice to them?
Wait, hold on. This is just acting a little too. Can we try that one more?
I said, what's your advice to other traders wanting to take a challenge?
I have to say that don't overthink your strategy, because if you have a strategy, chances are likely it'll work, and focus entirely on your mind and where you are meant psychologically, because that is everything. I struggled for years strategies. What was wrong was where I was coming from. So like I mentioned before, so detoxing is an incredible way to sort of reset yourself when you see yourself falling into bad habits, which I'm still guilty of. I have a very vibrant, ever evolving relationship with trading. And actually right now I am currently in a detox, because after that payout, obviously making 46% in a month is an outlandish amount to make, but then that leads into the next month of making bad decisions and ego being inflated. And all I can say is never take yourself too seriously. Don't be afraid to take a step back, and make sure the best thing that you can do to your trading life is make sure that everywhere else in your life is balanced, and trading will sort of just naturally fit in.
Very nice. Well, I love that. And thank you so much for sharing your experience, for taking your time to do this interview. It's really cool. So I hope best of luck to you in the future. We'll have to stay in touch. Let me know how it goes. And,
Absolutely.
Again, for sure. So that concludes this interview with Bay Purcell. Go ahead and give him a follow on Instagram. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you guys next time.